What's going on, everybody? Welcome to LilBigMan's review of Monday Night Raw, which is a special Monday Night Raw, considering the fact that it's possibly Becky Lynch's last Monday Night Raw. Her contract is up on June 1st. And if I'm correct, that's Saturday. Yeah, June 1st is Saturday. So if she don't sign a new contract between now, well, from when you've seen the video, but from now until then, there's no more Becky Lynch. And according to rumors, that's how it's going to be. But more on that, and my thoughts on that in a bit. As usual, they did a recap of King and Queen of the Ring. And then, speaking of which, that's where they started off the night with a Gunther promo, him coming out basically bragging about beating Randy Orton at King of the Ring, even though they actually here acknowledge the controversy that Randy Orton's shoulders was up. So technically his victory should be non and void. And Triple H even admitted that his victory should be non and void because Randy Orton's shoulders wasn't to the mat. But nonetheless, the referee's decision is final, and Gunther is your King of the Ring. But he said that we probably gonna get to see them running back one more time. Triple H didn't come out, but I think they saw like a video where he said this, and that he said he gonna get the running back one more time. Because so Gunther could get rid of the asterisk. Because he did say that there's an asterisk. I think I probably just said that we're all messed up, but there's basically. Yeah, he acknowledged that this victory wasn't completely on the up and up, but Randy Orton gonna get his shot to redeem himself. But as for Gunther, he came out, he basically bragged about it. The crowd chanted, "We want Randy." The crowd was very decent. I like the crowd. I think that Leon France crowd really stirred something up with people, because I think that after that whole pay-per-view, everybody was getting dogged. Like here in the States, anywhere, if you ain't trying to be like the Leon France crowd, you basically just a boring crowd. So I think every crowd now feel like they gotta try to be better or just as good as the Leon France crowd. And I like that. The little competition amongst the fans. He talked about how Damian Priest is a fake, might as well say, champion, because it don't have no prestige, because he won it via cash in. This will bring out Damian Priest, who basically schooled Gunther on the business and the fact that pretty much anybody who's won a championship this way has won a championship that way, and that he's going to teach him. And this will bring out Drew McIntyre, because I think Damian Priest said something about how he was talking like he was looking past. Because the next pay-per-view is Clash at the Castle before we get to SummerSlam here, before they get here for SummerSlam. No, I think Money in the Bank is before then too. If I'm correct, we got Clash at the Castle and Money in the Bank then in SummerSlam. But they was talking. They was talking like they was looking past him, and he came out to address. Drew said something about saying that CM Punk basically been back at the WWE for 6 months, and the only relevant thing about him is Drew McIntyre. Then he addressed addressed Gunther, saying that that's cool and all, that you the king, but before y'all talking about getting there, I'm about to be, but y'all forget I'm about to be champion in a few short weeks, and then Gunther just got out of the ring and let him and Damian Priest go at it. And he tried to get under Damian Priest's skin by telling him how the crowd gonna be at Clash of the Castle. But Damian Priest turned the table, saying that he turned the tables by asking him about his wife and what's her name, and is she going to be there at Clash of the Castle with Drew McIntyre warning him. And he said it doesn't matter, man, to me. Your wife is there now. I just wanted to see if I could get underneath your skin. And that apparently I did, and I wanted to see if you was man enough to do something about it. And before he said, apparently you seem like you about to, Braun Strowman would come out and get in the face of Damian Priest and eyeball the championship, because he actually has a match. I forgot JD McDonough and Finn Balor was there. because the first match of the night is Braun Strowman versus JD McDonough. That's why Braun Strowman came out. Basically, they was basically coming out to start off the first match, but they did the promos first. Then, like I said, so this match was pretty good. Uh, the thing I will say about it, it wasn't a typical squash match. I mean, you knew Braun Strowman was going to win, but he won in a pretty non-squat. He won, but it wasn't a squash match per se because JD actually got some good offense and he actually targeted a limb. He hurt Braun Strowman's leg and he kept targeting that, giving him a little bit of daylight. But in the end, a nice reversal. I think JD was trying to do something, and Braun Strowman will reverse it into a spinning power slam for the victory. But then JD tried to hit. They would jump. Carlito would get involved too. He was out there. He tried to get involved to help JD win, but that didn't work. But after the bell run, both Finn Balor, Carlito, and JD tried to jump Braun Strowman, which Braun Strowman fought them off, and then JD would hit Braun Strowman in the back with a chair that caused pretty much chaos throughout the whole night because from this point onward to the main event, Braun Strowman would be doing nothing but trying to chase down JD McDonough the whole night. And I do mean it, like pretty much almost every backstage segment got interrupted with Braun Strowman looking for JD McDonough. Not everyone, but almost every backstage segment. So that's how long this basically the events of this first match went on. Like literally, I'm just like, oh, okay. And it even ran into the main event. That's why I said from this one point on to the main event, we're just going to keep seeing Braun Strowman and JD McDonough. Confirmed on social media that the Becky Lynch versus Liv Morgan match would be in a steel cage match. And that will be your main event. Then we got a Liv Morgan promo talking about her victory at King and Queen of the Ring, and that she do announce the fact that because of Dominic Mysterio, she didn't legitly beat Becky Lynch, and that she aimed to do that tonight. That's why she's glad it'll be in the steel cage match, which would be her first time ever inside of a steel cage, and she's glad that it will happen this way because she'll finally be able to beat Becky straight up. We got a Judgment Day promo with Finn and Carlito, basically getting scolded basically scolded by Damien that didn't work out, and that everything was going off the rails. So he told everybody to meet up at the clubhouse because he wanted to get things straightened out. Then we got the second match of the night, which is Ricochet versus Ilya, which was brought on by the fact that Ricochet, like they saw like a backstage segment where Ricochet was basically being tended to. He was cleared to compete even despite reservation from Adam Pearce, and he won the match against Braun Breaker. I'm about to say Braun Strowman, Braun Breaker, and Adam Pearce will inform him that he can't get that match because Braun Breaker is not here. He's suspended with a fine for what he did last week. Now that you know that, we get to the match, which is a pretty damn good match between Ilya and Ricochet. But Ricochet will win the match via disqualification because, of course, Braun Breaker was not at home. He was at the arena. And he attacked both Ilya and Ricochet, but he hit Ricochet first to get. So technically, Ricochet won the match via disqualification. And then he attacked Ilya, and he will get scalded by Adam Pearce, which it looked like Adam Pearce. He wanted to do something to Adam Pearce, which made Adam Pearce basically back off for a bit. But obviously, it's not over between the. I think they setting up like a 3-way feud with these guys. Then we got the continuation of that with Braun backstage being yelled at by Adam Pearce. With the announcer, with the backstage interview lady, I think it's Kathy Kelly, was trying to get an interview with Adam Pearce, but Adam Pearce would get stopped by Kiana James, and they would go into the office and talk about something. Then we get the third match, which is AOP versus the Creed Brothers. But the caveat here was they sold like an earlier in the day promo with the New Day, with the New Day interacted with Awesome True. I guess they had some type of ice cream truck, which they was. I like the little segment because the funny part about it was uh they was talking about the tag team titles and not having like a little tag team lottery, and they said so he gave the R-Truth gave the Miz what you gonna call it ice cream, and then they said something about being vanilla, and he was like, oh yeah, that's why you gave it to, because I'm vanilla and you're, he said strawberry. He said, or something like, yeah, strawberry is something like that. And he was like, wait a minute, what you thought I was gonna say, Miz? He said, no, I was gonna say, and then the New Day was like, yeah, what you think he was gonna say? What was you gonna say, Miz? And he was like, strawberry. I was gonna say strawberry. What? No. And then they cut it off, and this is where we get to the AOP connection where um Karrion Cross would come to offer basically Xavier Woods a chance at being part of the Final Testament, and that he needed to leave New Day. It dropped this whole New Day stuff, and Kofi and them basically told him no, and he was like, Kofi, when are you gonna let Xavier Woods shine, huh? He made reference to the fact that Kofi and Big E got the sign. They both went on to become world champions, but not Xavier. Which I'm like, is this gonna be like a tease of a heel turn for Xavier? Is this gonna be the end of the New Day? Uh, but they'll end up challenging AOP to a tag team match next week against. And he was like, "Oh, Karrion was like, oh, you want to do it the hard way, huh? I like it that way." And then they made fun of the fact that Miz really wasn't going to say strawberry. Then we got AOP versus the Creed brothers, as I was saying before. This was a pretty good match. I mean, it was a short. It was like maybe 3 to 5 minutes. It was a pretty good match between the two with AOP getting the victory. I do want to see if they're going to put the Creed brothers with Chad Gable, because I'm pretty good. That's a pretty good kickoff point for them. That'll be good for their characters or whatnot. Though I don't know what this means for Ivy Niles, because Ivy, they all faces, but this might leave Ivy Niles the only face of the faction while they to the heels. Then we got Rey Mysterio promo talking about his match later on with Carlito, and that Carlito's going to regret double crossing him. He's not going to see an old friend across the ring. He's going to see Rey Mysterio, the man. He's going to teach a lesson about not crossing. Then we got a Sheamus promo where he came out and he talked about how good the Kenny Ring was, but that it didn't have him. Though he wasn't upset because that's the name of the game, but what he was upset was Ludwig Kaiser basically talking about him while he was at home waiting to get cleared. This would bring out Ludwig on the screen, who basically talked about how Sheamus was out there crying, but as being a keyboard warrior, but that he is here now. And he said, but Sheamus would cut him up and say, I'm tired of hearing you talking. What should I do? Should I stay here and listen to him run his mouth off, so go back there and find him? And that's what he did as the crowd, chanted. And he went back and he went back to the little form, but ended up getting jumped by him. And they were brawled back out to the out by the ringside where the fans was, and they would get separated by Adam Pearce and them. I think this was like the second brawl. Oh, the first. I think it was. Yeah. I think there was a brawl. No, I don't think there was a brawl where a Braun Breaker. But then Becky Lynch would come out. Well, not come out, but she would have a backstage promo with Lyra, just congratulating her on her hard fought, not victory, but how she performed at King and Queen of the Ring. And that you lose enough to learn something from it to start winning. And sometimes you need it. Sometimes you just need to walk away for good. And I'm just like, ooh, hint, hint, at her, inspiring contract. Um, was that it though? Yeah, okay. And she told Lyra, you should think about getting some knee pads. Then we get to the fourth match, which is Lyra versus Kairi Sane, which was a good match. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it. It was a nice redeemer. It was a nice redeemer for Lyra. She got the victory over Kairi Sane. But a pretty good match. Then we'll get we get a Judgment Day promo backstage where now everybody's in the clubhouse. Damian Priest is scolding and wondering where everybody was at. Everybody like slowly trickled in. He even, especially Dominic Mysterio, he scolded Dominic Mysterio for going to Saudi and messing things up even worse by accidentally helping Liv get the title. And that he was mad that people can't take care of the Braun Strowman problem, and he says he gonna have to take care of the Braun Strowman problem himself. And Dominic Mysterio promised to take care of the to make sure and make it up to Rhea about what happened at Saudi. And he said, "You better, because I would hate to be in your shoes." Then we got damage control backstage, but just basically Kairi saying Dakota Kai coming to the locker room, to which Io Sky was basically upset and tore up the locker room, angry that they lost against Lyra. Then we get the fifth match, which is Rey Mysterio versus Carlito. This was a pretty good match. I did not know that it's been 20 years since Rey Mysterio and Carlito went 1-on-1 with each other. Been 20 years. So if my math correct, that's 2004, 2005. Was it 2004, 2006? One of them. I think they said 2006 on the show, but I'm pretty sure it was 2004. It's either 2004 or 2006. They said 2006, but I'm pretty sure it was 2004. But nonetheless, it was a good match, and I think they said that, at that time, I think back then too, the last time they went 1-on-1, Carlito beat Rey Mysterio. So that's a good. This was a good twist where the last time they went 1-on-1, Carlito won. This time Rey Mysterio won. But Damian Priest would come out to start beating up on Ray and them with the help of Finn Balor. But Braun Strowman would come out to chase them off again. Once again, Chad Gable had a backstage promo where he informed Otis that he got one more chance to redeem himself against Bronson Reed, and that he didn't want the others out at ringside. And then we will get to that match, which is Otis versus Bronson Reed, which was a pretty good match between the two big guys. But the thing here was that Bronson Reed, not Bronson Reed, but Otis, Bronson Reed just wanted them. He's just angry at Otis because he blames Otis for the reason why he didn't become Intercontinental Champion. But Otis thing was that Chad was trying to tell him not to do anything fun like the crowd wanted him to do. And even when he was trying to do it, Chad would just stop him. And he did it one too many times, which caused Otis the match. And Bronson Reed would get the victory. And then we'll get into a Chad Gable promo where he's so upset that Otis lost against Bronson Reed that he said he was going to teach him a lesson about making his mistakes. And he was basically he wanted him to hold on to the ropes while he whipped him with his belt. I'm like, what type of segment is this? We're about to see Chad whip Otis, and at first he was going to do it, but he would get stopped by Maxine Dupree, who Chad scolded, said, "Oh, what? This is too much for you. You're gonna cry? You can't take it. Well, get out of here. Go to the back. I don't want to see you no more. Get out of here." And he asked Tozawa, did he feel the same way? He was like, "No." Then stand there and watch. And then he was getting ready to whip, but then Sami Zayn came out, and they were getting into it. and he would tell Sammy not to get involved in his business. Only thing he needed to do is be ready to get him his rightful one-on-one match for the Intercontinental Championship. If that's not why he's out here, you need to get out of the business and go back to the back. And he was getting ready to whip Otis, but then this time Chad would get stopped by Sammy, and they would struggle, and Sammy would take the belt from him and basically get into a brawl with Chad, to which Sammy did get the upper hand, but then Otis got involved and took him all, tried to stop him. He didn't want to hurt Sammy. He didn't want to do anything, but it's like Chad is forcing him to, and then will fight again, but this time Chad would get the upper hand. And he looked like he wanted to do the same thing he just did to Sammy, but he kind of hesitated. And then he told him, he put up the title, so he wanted another rematch. And then he was telling Otis to get out the ring, to which Otis did not want to get out the ring, but eventually did. Let's see. That was that. And then we got Zoe Starks and them saying that they get ready to challenge the tag team champions, to which they would introduce, they invite them to come to Raw to introduce, but they get interrupted by Sonya Deville, who said that nobody respects them. Nobody respects them. And they they've beaten everybody, but nobody respects your victories. And this will be proven true when Alba Fire and Issa Dawn would confront Zoe and saying about the fact that they said they beat every tag team on Raw and they haven't beaten them. It was like they're gonna get involved in the feud, and then Sonya Deville like, see, no respect. And then we'll get to the main event, which is Liv Morgan versus Becky Lynch for the Women's World Heavyweight Championship inside a steel cage. And this was a cool match. This was main event worthy, especially with the fact that this was Becky Lynch's. This is possibly Becky Lynch's final Monday Night Raw for a long, long time, and this was a very good match. Dominic Mysterio would get involved again. He would get involved. He would come out and he opened the door, basically begged Becky to get out. He really is trying to help Becky. At least according to the story, he's trying to help Becky. He's not trying to help Liv. He's trying to help Becky, and Liv just keep taking advantage of it. So with that happened, this is why I said throughout this night we'll keep seeing Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman's pursuit of JD McDonough continued, and even into this match, because Finn Balor and JD McDonough came out and argued with Dom, asking him why he's out here, telling him he shouldn't be out here. He was like, what? And then he started telling him he's trying to help mommy out. And they said, whatever, man, just do what you got to do. Do what you need to do. But if you screw this up, you on your own. And Braun Strowman's music would hit because he sees JD McDonough. So he would chase JD McDonough, and he would do his choo-choo train thing. And he would knock Dominic Mysterio into the steel cage right when Becky was trying to get out, and the steel cage door smacked Becky, allowing Liv to get out of the ring to end the show as still your Women's World Heavyweight Champion. I like it. Liv put over. Oh, and then to end the show, this is, I guess you could say, a rarity when being in the USA sucks, because the show ended. If you watched it on TV, the show ended basically with Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio looking at each other, and then just said USA Network. But that wasn't actually the end of the show. For other people, the show for other people, for America, it just ended with them two standing at each other. But for other people, we found out that the actual ending of the show was them staring at each other, Liv getting closer to Dominic, and then she kisses Dominic. But it's not that they wanted to kiss each other. She kisses him on purpose to stir up trouble. Not enjoying it. And then after she let go of him, he's sitting there like, what the hell is you doing? Like, he's upset and everything. And Liv picks up her. Liv is laughing and smiling, picking up her title to end the show. This was a good show. I like what they're doing. We probably go as Rhea's okay in time. By the time SummerSlam here, I'm definitely seeing Liv Morgan versus Rhea for the Women's World Heavyweight Championship and for Dominic Mysterio at this point. This was a good show, though. I enjoyed it. Sorry for the long video, guys. It was just a lot to talk about here. I hope Becky Lynch signs a contract because I would hate for her not to be under WWE. She's a good talent. But on the flip side, though, if she don't sign a contract, she could get AEW and WWE to offer her some big time contract. But with that being said, I'm gonna give this episode of Monday Night Raw. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10 because it was a very thoroughly entertaining. It was nothing I did not like on here, and if it's something that I do not, if it's nothing that I don't like on the show, then it's automatically an 8 out of 10. It's just the rest is just depending on how good you make the show. And with that being said, I mean, I didn't like the DQ finish, but I understand it. This is one of the rare times where I say, the DQ finish, even though I don't like it with the Ricochet thing, it was kind of understandable because Braun Breaker is proving the point. But we just can't keep getting these DQ finishes. But yeah, 8 out of 10. You let me know in the comments down below what you thought. And if you enjoy this video, you hit this button right there, not the logo, but the little card that's popped up for all of my Monday Night Raw reviews. And if you enjoy the video so much, want to support the channel, you know what to do. You hit those buttons. That like, subscribe, share, hit the notification button. Because we're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers. Then when I get to the next goal, we'll see. But I might have something for you guys. I'm working it out now. But if we do I'll let you know when we get close if there will be a prize at the end of the 10,000 goal. But if you're watching this on, because I might upload this video too on the Recipe Podcast. You upload it, if you are watching it on there, subscribe to the Recipe Podcast and hit the notification button, the like button, the share button. Because we're trying to get to 500 subscribers on there, and there's definitely a prize for someone when we get to 500 subscribers on that channel. So, with that being said, peace out. I got more for you guys if you're on my personal channel.